Who talks about Armada 2.0, I swear to God I will come for you.
Saying that they are surprise mechanics, and people love surprises.
To get Baneblade, the plastic Baneblade, to sell in the store at ROE Games, 19 Park Lane, Havelock. Come by, see us.
AOSKey here, and this is By the Numbers.
This week we're going to be going over character creation for Wrath and Glory.
My name is Keith, or you can call me ArmorBoy21. It's my gaming deck. Today we're going to go over D&D.
Oh, hello there.
Your armor, sir?
Boom!
You take 7 points of damage.
Alright guys, we're rocking out really hard tonight. So what we got going on is Crease.
There will be swearing and or shenanigans of the adult nature.
God damn it!
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Gamer Interrupted. My name is AJ East Coast, and I am your host. And of course, I've got with me by my side Griffin 32101. How you doing tonight, bud?
Oh, I'm trying to make it. How about yourself?
You know, just doing my thing. Just been working like a dog on my other stream, on the AJ stream. Finally made affiliation after all this time because I put all my effort into affiliation on this channel. But I'd much rather, you know, if that happened first, this happened first than me other than that. So now we can focus on both avenues. So I've just been, doing a lot of that, doing a lot of wrestling stuff. But, other than that, just been doing all right.
Sounds good. Good to hear.
As always, guys, our podcast tonight is brought to you by Fit and Prep here in Orlando. They are a food delivery service. Shout out to Henrique and his wife. They are amazing, small business. Everyone knows right now is the time to support small businesses, y'all. So they will deliver these awesome foods to you in the Orlando area if you guys are out there listening. And it's good food, too. A lot of different variety. Today, I think I had rice with like scrambled eggs and corn and 2 fishes and green beans. It was really good. I loved it. I know you liked it.
We're almost in like a year of a pandemic already.
Yeah, almost a whole year of the pandemic, and at the same time, almost a whole year of Gamer Interrupted. We're almost coming up on our anniversary episode soon. Got like a month and a half before that happens.
Made a lot of growth. A lot of growth over the year.
Yeah, a lot of growth. I'm glad that you stuck around. Maybe we can get Gino back on here one day.
Maybe.
Maybe so. Well, guys, let's get it started tonight. We wanted to jump in directly with the release of WandaVision. Let me tell you, Griffin, I was thinking about this before the stream. Now, before I say this will probably be the only time that anyone hears me talk nicely about Disney recently. But let me just tell you this, that they knocked it out of the fucking park. WandaVision is so damn good. Me and my girlfriend, we sat down, we watched both episodes. It's fucking amazing. It's cute as shit. It's fucking romantic. It allows just like a different story of superheroes. Like for a second, you're like, damn, I forgot I was watching a superhero thing.
What is it like? What is it like?
So it's like family style sitcom. So the first 2 episodes, the first one, this isn't spoiler by the way, this is common knowledge. The first one is based off of I Love Lucy. The second one based off of Bewitched. And they're continuing to explore different sitcom stuff throughout the years. And the writing is genius. The jokes are just as corny as back then, but for some reason they're funnier. Like the jokes are cornier but funnier. And it works really, 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 really well. I fucking love it. And
check it out. Me and my girlfriend are looking for a new show to watch after Dragon Ball. So,
dude, I'm telling you, this is the one that for all y'all out there. If you got yourself a couple, if you're a couple out there, or a throuple, or whatever y'all are into, I don't know. I don't judge, but
21. Do practically whatever the hell you want.
Cover all of our bases now, but yeah, y'all need to sit down and watch WandaVision because we're exploring, almost of a what could have happened in Wanda's mind of if Vision was still alive. And also kind of, I'm interested to see, they've added a lot of mystery to it because of the focus is so much on the sitcom that you have to also understand, you have to take back for a second, remember that this is, you know, this is a superhero thing, and this just has to do with Wanda, and it also has to deal with mental health because she's fucking losing it, you can tell, and it's exploring her, basically she's just gone into grief delusion at this point, if you want to read between the lines here, because she's watched her brother and her fucking lover get killed in front of her. So now this is the world that she's painting, happy TV shows. She probably watched these shows to make her happy because these are all shows that we grew up on that, you know, they came on like late night TV or they came on like Saturday. Like for me, I'm looking forward, by the way, to the WandaVision episode for Brady Bunch because for me, the Brady Bunch came on after school, like at 3 o'clock or like 3:30 or something like that. But then on Saturdays, they would run chronological order ones of the Brady Bunch. So if you wanted to actually know what the fuck was happening in some of the stories, they started doing that on Saturdays. So I'd watch them on Saturdays, and I started following the Brady Bunch. So I'm looking forward to the episode. But anyways, Wanda could have watched these shows as, you know, a young superhero and connected with them and escaped in them because they are an escape, and they do a really good job of portraying that kind of escaping. You know, sitting down and you got the studio audience laughing. It's very immersive. And it's artistic. It looks good. It is black and white. The first couple episodes, I think that I don't know if it's going to stay like that. Probably until the Brady Bunch one, it might stay like that. But
Maybe.
It looks really good. It's just a lot of fun to watch. And like I said, it's fucking cute. It's cute as shit.
I'll check it out. I've never, like I said, last podcast we did, I made it pretty clear that I don't really care for Marvel. Like, I'll stick around for some bit of it. Not much. I don't really have that many favorite heroes anymore. I did like all the Infinity Wars and all the Marvel movies leading up to it, but the individual movies I just kind of went off. I'm not really watching anymore.
Well, people are, you know, they're complaining. They're like, oh, this isn't for kids. This isn't actiony enough. But it's not that. That's not what this is. It's not meant for that. That's not who this is meant for.
Mm-hmm.
This, honestly, as someone that's in a relationship and sitting down and watching the show about relationships, it's honestly probably meant for couples. It's what it's meant for, or people of our age and older. It's not meant for, you know, that kind of crowd. So it's interesting to see that out. You know, like I said, it is still superhero, but at the same time, it's almost not because you didn't like for example, my girlfriend, she didn't have to watch all of the Avengers movies to understand what was going on in the show. You know what I mean? So it opens up a different kind of avenue is the point I'm trying to make.
I get your point. It sounds pretty, like I said, I'll probably check it out once we get done with Dragon Ball. It'll probably be in about 2 years.
Fucking Dragon Ball, you fucking nerd.
And I don't know what it is, dude. It is Dragon Ball Z. Dragon Ball. Can't get rid of it.
Dragon Ball. What exactly do you mean when you're watching Dragon Ball Z? What are you doing exactly?
I'll lay in bed. I'll watch it all day if I could. If I had to work or anything, I would watch it all fucking day.
Are you binging like start to finish or fucking?
Yeah. So, my girlfriend, shout out to her. She got me into the original Dragon Ball, which like it came out in like around 1980-ish, around there. It's like an old ass cartoon, and I was like, I don't know about it. But then she like introduced me like 1 episode, 2 episode, 3 episode, 4 episode, 5, and so on. I was like, all right, I'm fucking set. We're gonna watch this. Like we were watching How I Met Your Mother, and we were watching that. That's a great couple show to watch too.
I love that one. Yeah.
Good. I wish they would have made more, but we were watching How I Met Your Mother, and she's like, "You want to watch Dragon Ball?" And I was like, "Sure." And so we started, and I was like, "This is amazing," because you know, from my childhood, I just knew Dragon Ball Z. So now I started connecting the pieces back to Dragon Ball, and I'm like, "Damn!" So that makes sense. I'll be in the middle of the episode, like the other recent one I did. He was fighting some assassin. And if you're a Dragon Ball fan, you know what I'm talking about. And, you know, Goku flies around on this pillar in some of the video games. And it's a Tai Pei's little pillar that he just kicks off and jumps on. And I was like, I fucking know that from somewhere. It's just funny just to, like, make that correlation and see where it all started from. So, and there's just so fucking much.
Well, I mean, there is a reason why everyone fucking loves that show. And why so many people, especially of our generation, love that fucking show.
so huge. I got like sometimes I'll wear my little Super Saiyan Broly hoodie in there and to work, and like the older generations will come up to me like, "Oh, it's cool. You watch Dragon Ball?" I was like, "Hell yeah, I watch Dragon Ball." They're like, "Oh, dude, I just I got all the generation. I got these DVD sets. Back when they were their age, it wasn't cool to watch Dragon Ball, but hell, now we're just all on this anime kick. So why not?"
Well, just for you, you know what? I'm gonna go. There's a Dragon Ball ramen bar here in Orlando, and I'm gonna go check it out, and I'll report.
Amazing. I would appreciate that.
I'll report on it for you. I'll do a little thing. I'll see what I can do. I'll let you know what's going on. I think they have little Dragon Balls for sale too, like little.
Really?
Yeah, like that's what I saw. I saw somebody do it on that website that I'm not gonna mention because they're a bunch of assholes. But it starts with a T and a T, and then you make videos. You know what I'm talking about? The fucking kids use it. Fuck them. Anyways, moving on from that. You'll be interested in this, and I am too, because I've just been recently going to the gym every day kind of thing as well. This guy by the name of Mike Choi, some kind of engineer of some sort, he turned Mario Kart 8, with the fitness wheel and the driving wheel or whatnot. He turned that into, he was able to use his fucking fitness bike to play the fucking game, so he can pedal on it, work out, do the whole fucking thing while he's playing Mario Kart. And I'm not exactly sure how it works, but like it's basically a robotic arms are pushing the buttons for you through the pedals. First of all, Mike, very creative and awesome, innovative. You have way too much time on your hands, first of all.
We're all in a pandemic, so
We're in a
we must have.
pandemic. Wicked smart as well. That's awesome that you figured that out, by the way. But
Very
I
innovative.
just wanted to feature this real quick because I just thought this was really cool because it's just like, every once in a while we find those things on the internet that just random crazy people have been done this year. Like, remember me and you talked about earlier this summer that guy who built the University of Indiana on Minecraft.
Yep.
You remember that? So
Yeah, I remember that.
I just like to, I thought that was really cool because it's, it's not an everyday thing that you heard like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Well, I'm going to hop on Mario Kart 8. Oh, cool. Yeah, but I'm going to also work out at the same time because I invented this thing. Like, that's pretty awesome.
Inventions. There's so many untold inventions in this day and age. I love the fact that technology is kind of a double-edged sword. Technology is getting to that point where you can basically create almost anything, and some of these people just go on out and they do it, but they don't get the marketing, they don't get the advertising, so you really don't hear too much about it in the mainstream, especially right now. I'm pretty sure we won't hear about this because what's dominating the market in technology is PS5 and Xbox Series X and all that's dominating. But it's still pretty cool that you're able to find out that people are actually making this kind of stuff, and people will buy this. I remember one time I found a gaming chair and it was built as a scorpion. Now, this gaming chair cost somewhere in the thousands of dollars, but it was like a robotic chair that you sat in, and it had like a TV, like the scorpion's tail would come over your head, and it was a TV that came over you, and you sat down like you're in like a recliner, and the scorpion would move and shit towards the game. And I thought that, damn, how much time and energy you'd have to put in to make something that?
A shitload.
Exactly. But you never hear about that.
Well, I'm going to try and do our best to keep finding stuff like that. I like finding these little stories. So if y'all out there, send us some info, their website, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you want to do. Send us some info if you find something like that, a little cool technology thing. Another one that I found, Griffin, this device called the McClassic. It's supposed to improve the Switch's quality of graphics. Because here's the thing. Nintendo has excelled in everything over the years, but something they haven't is that they obviously can't match the graphic capacity of PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but they make up for it in very better, sometimes better aesthetically pleasing and artistically pleasing things that they do with Nintendo. I mean, fucking Animal Crossing is gorgeous. Fucking Zelda is gorgeous. They do a really good job in other ways, but at the same time, it's not going to look... Red Dead Redemption 2 is not going to look awesome on the Switch as it's going to look on the Xbox. You know what I'm saying?
And I think that has to do more with their background, where they're coming from.
Yeah.
They're coming from, animated video games and whatnot. And I can understand that. PlayStation and Microsoft have always been near that realistic.
Yeah. Well, this device, Griff, they want to plug it in from the the Switch, and then you plug your HDMI from that, and then again now into the TV. It's supposed to help improve the graphic quality. I don't know. I thought that was cool when I read it. You know, give the Switch a little bump. But once again, you know, another video game gadget to spend money on.
And that's exactly what it is. So what is funny is now that you say that, I'm thinking, does Nintendo, like, do they accept this as like a third-party accessory? Do they have like control over that, or you know, they give them an offer? Like that's my business side of it. Could they give that party a business offer and be like, hey, you know, if you sell us this, you know, we can put it in a bundle, and whatever. You know what I'm saying?
One thing that Nintendo has always done, that they've always acknowledged when someone does something like this. You know, they always acknowledge when there's something that can make their stuff better, or something that, you know, basically makes people's life a little easier on their products. I think they did that a lot with the Wii as well. But it doesn't, I wouldn't imagine that they could sponsor something like that, other than just because it's kind of like, oh damn, why didn't they do it first themselves, or why they might not even be interested in doing that for their consumers and players anyway. They might not even be interested in that. But you know, the other thing that I want to point out is also that it's just not only just the Switch that this thing can make your stuff 4K. You can use it on other stuff like the PlayStations 1 and 2s, the Xbox, or the original Xbox 60, the N64, the GameCube, the original Wii. It's just supposed to make things look better. So I mean, it is worth a shot checking out if it's got, you know, that kind of power to be able to do something like that.
I like seeing people revamp things. I don't really tell this like much, nothing dark or deep, but back in like, I used to try to mod stuff, like, you know, make it better and stuff like that. And I remember one time I tried to modify my PSP and followed a YouTube tutorial on it, and then I was like, I was like damn 10 or 11, somewhere around there. And I cut one of the connectors onto the circuit board, and that's what the video said to do, was the main power one. And then they said, hey, you know, you can now mod your PSP to do whatever the fuck you want. And I totally fucking believed it. Like, I totally believed it. Next thing I know,
to do whatever you want.
My PSP because I don't fucking know what I just did, and now my PSP, it turns on, but nothing is actually getting actual power besides the power switch. And I was like, I'm pretty sure this man just got me.
What were you trying to do exactly to make your PSP better?
I think this was around Xbox 360, and if you played Xbox 360, you know about these things called JTAG Xboxes, and you know, this was back when like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was out, and I think my influence was I got into a modded lobby, and I saw crazy shit you can do as a modded console or a modded configuration. I was like, damn, this is wild. Like, all right, let's get into this. And so I started like learning how to mod a little bit, and like it wasn't nothing fancy. I like did a little USB modding, which is nothing but uploading a file save per se that was modded to a game file on the Xbox 360, and you can do, you know, edit your inventory on the computer and then put it back into Xbox 360, upload the save file, and then all that shit would be in there. I remember are you familiar with Resident Evil 5?
Yeah, of course.
So you know the RB was the knife button, I believe.
Yep.
So when I pressed RB one time, I got an unlimited flamethrower because I edited my inventory to do that. That's just like one of the cool little modification things. So I was like, well, let's see how farther we can take this. And I just went to my PSP and I tried fucking doing it, and I never played the PSP ever again after that.
Well, I guess you live and you learn your lesson. It does say when you open it, don't fucking do that, but
don't fucking do it.
It's easier to do that now. I've heard, you know, people, they replace their PS4 storages, they put a bigger one in there. I've seen things like, it is a lot easier to do it now, but at the same time, you are running that risk, like you said, if you fuck it up, you fuck it up. You know?
You will, and I was probably just young and dumb when I did it. It's probably just like some like guy was like, hey, I'm gonna see how many PSPs I can fucking break, and there I am. I'm a broken ass PSP.
Well, if you want to continue on with this technology segment, I guess you could call it. That brings me to my next topic, and it actually has to do with, I guess you could say, relates back to PSP because a fan he made a portable design for Xbox now. They want an Xbox handheld, calling it the Series Z.
The Series Z. I've seen this, and this is what I'm telling you about, like the innovations and shit that a lot of people aren't seeing. This is one of them. I actually saw this the other day. It's like a little handheld, like, and the screen pops up, and then you have your little pad and shit right here, and your little controls, right?
Yeah, it looks cool too. It looks good. Yeah. And it's
so
not a far-fetched thing that can be done either because, I mean, yeah, it's getting done on the Samsung. If you have the Samsung, you can play Xbox games on there if you have the Xbox controller thingy and the update and all that. But not everybody has a fucking Samsung. And Samsung also kind of sucks sometimes. Not everybody wants a fucking Samsung. iPhone sometimes, in my opinion, is a little bit more convenient and makes people's lives a little bit easier, but...
They're a little bit more user-friendly. I'm over here rocking my Android shit talking it. I love it for 3 years and it hasn't failed me yet.
But not everybody has some of these Androids, and a lot of them are newer stuff too. So it's definitely needed. We haven't. Handheld gaming has fallen off. Handheld gaming is falling off since mobile gaming has come out on app stores and stuff like that. But what were you saying?
Have you played any games on your phone lately?
No. I mean, The Sims maybe, but that's about it.
Listen, I used to be so against like phone games. I thought they were shitty. I thought they were like, oh, I don't want to fucking play Candy Crush or Castle Crashers or maybe, whatever the fuck. Dude, if you go to the App Store now, they have whole ass games on the App Stores now. Like, I remember I had on my iPad Sid Meier's Civilization 6, and I was like, you can play this shit now? I can't tell you how many phone games I've downloaded in the past, maybe 5 months alone, just playing. Like, I'm stuck on Dragon Ball Z phone games right now. Fucking go figure. But there's so many more innovative games. They're getting better on the phones. And it's so weird because now I'm wondering, is your phone going to be a fucking gaming system from now on?
I mean, at this point, it could be considered like they're trying to do with that Samsung Xbox thing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, not everyone has a smartphone. Everybody has all that stuff. But it is necessary, I think, like you said, if all these awesome games are coming out on the mobile phone, it wouldn't be that hard to also do it on a portable Xbox design.
Exactly.
So it would give the Switch a run for its money and the DS and all that stuff. Because a lot of people still play the DS extra large because of the Pokemon games and stuff like that.
I'm telling you right now, whoever captures the idea of, I'm going to build this phone, but I can also play video games on it. I'm not saying console quality or computer quality, but, you're still able to play it.
Good, yeah.
Whoever captures this idea in a great, an efficient manner is going to make a ton of money and a great impact in the technology field.
Well, I'll tell you who's not. Well, they're probably making money, but I'll tell you that they lost a shitload of it. Valve, amongst other publishers, fined by the European Union. So
I didn't read this, so I want to hear about it.
So when I sent you this article that they were fined originally $5 million, when I went to do a more research on it, now they're up to $9 million, and they're saying that it could be more.
Is it for the loot boxes, right?
No. Well, kind of, a little bit. Basically, what they're doing is what they're being fined for called geo-blocking. They're denying their regional customers some of the benefits of other digital market shops. So they're not allowing certain areas to buy from certain shit, which according to the European Union lawmakers is super fucking against the law. So their Steam activation keys with multiple games, 5 of them that are put out by these publishers, they're affecting countries like Czechoslovakia, Poland, Hungary, Romania, Estonia, Latvia, Lithuania. All these countries are being affected online on Steam, and now these publishers are paying for it. And here's the thing, fucking good. Learn your fucking lesson. Stop doing stupid shit to your consumers. Stop pissing, because now finally someone caught on. It sucks that it's the fucking governments, but with $9 million in the as a debt to the government, you're not going to do something like that again.
So now I have a question for this. Is this content? They're not getting content in the games, or
and
Okay,
the
so
game itself too. So it's like
My-
this is only applying this law is only applying to the PC video games.
so my next question is, how did they go about this? Because I know Japan, they have censored versions of the game. I remember Resident Evil 4 being censored, and all that's being censored. Like, did they just adopt the law? Like, was it an outdated law for Valve, or did they just like blatantly like, hey, I'm sorry, but we're not going to release this content to you guys because you guys live over there, and I don't know what to tell you.
Well, Valve they are fighting back, saying that they did follow the region laws. That they said that they did not use the region locks, but they said that that they don't. That the Valve is basically fighting back, saying that this isn't us. It doesn't affect us. That this isn't us. And he's saying that the European Union is alleging them, saying that they are the ones enabling the geo-blocking by providing the Steam keys upon the publisher's request to be locking in those certain areas with region locks. So they're saying that they're doing it on purpose. So now it's like back and forth, but it's like you're allowed to activate this game and play it on Steam when someone buys it from like a third-party seller or like another thing or like a reseller or online store or something like that. But there's still region locking.
Yeah, being delivered to the concise, say Czechoslovakia, they're not getting the same games as an American would. And
yeah, I guess so. I guess what's happening here, and they're getting fined for this, like $9 million for geo blocking.
I guess they deserve that.
Yeah. Yeah, but like the craziest thing now is that when we talked earlier this week, it was 5 mil. Well, now we're looking at 9 mil, and that's just over the course of a couple of days. So hopefully they get this fucking thing under control.
I wonder where all that money goes. That's my next question.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
I want to go.
Huh. It's a good one. Maybe back into the laws, the city, the states. I don't know. The European Union does things a little bit better than us when it comes to things like that, so I don't know. But Cyberpunk, if we're going to keep talking game developers, the Cyberpunk, oh, there it is. Yep, there's a smile. The Cyberpunk game developers, they're asking the fans, don't blame the team. Like, don't blame them. They're saying, like, blame the guys that made it, like, pushed out the game, blame the hype game. Don't blame the people that actually made the fucking game. He's like, don't blame the designers, the programmers. He's saying it's not 100% their fault. So now this is now 3 weeks now. We've gotten a different apology every week on the topic of Cyberpunk since the release.
This is weird because I just ran into another situation. It's kind of funny how all of our topics are tying in tonight. Do I agree with this? No, but yes, but no. I'm going to contradict myself here. I don't agree with their excuses.
Excuses.
They could have been man enough to say, hey, we're not going to put this out because we're seeing what's going on with shitty-ass games. I mean, shitty game that came out that wasn't, Madden, remember? Madden?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking EA was like, hey, push this game out. They saw what happened, and we talked about it. Cyberpunk, the team, I can't remember what they're called right now. Their team should have known better. Their team should have been, they should have been influenced, and maybe they did. Maybe they did. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they did say, hey, it's probably not the best idea to release this game right now. And I can highly agree with that team. If they did say that, I'd totally agree with them, and I would give them the acceptance. I'd be like, hey, yeah, okay, it's not your fault.
Well,
but if they did, like, no, we're done.
They
and then
told the public, we're going to have it ready on this day. They said it's going to be ready on this day. They should have fucking done it. That was their biggest problem. So then they forced the team to be ready by this day. And obviously they weren't. Everyone knows that. You yourself know that. You tell me all the time that the PlayStation 4 version of Cyberpunk.
Oh, fucking terrible. I will never touch that game again on PS4.
It doesn't play the same. That's what I'm saying. I'm able to play it on the Xbox. I have a good time with it on the Xbox. It still has problems. Yes, I've had to restart the game a couple times, but that's the thing. In this day and age, it shouldn't be doing that. First of all, that's the issue that Griffin is talking about here. That it should not be that problem at all.
Like I said, you've got to play that game without the glitches. But what I was also getting about by tying into subjects is, I don't know if you were on track of this, but there was a PS5 drop, and it wasn't from Sony. It was, so there's third-party company, I want to say, they were going to release an anniversary edition PS5 all black to be modeled after the PS2, and they were only going to give out 304 of these versions, right?
I did see that,
yeah, and it's a good idea. It was pretty cool. I was on board. I was like, hey, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. You know, it's a pretty cool thing you're doing. I like the resemblance. I like the, you know, you're giving it a throwback eventually. Or the word I'm looking for. Essentially, you're giving it a throwback. I was like, okay, that's cool. When this dropped, right, AJ? When this dropped, their site crashed. I want to say their site crashed. There was problems getting the stock, people ordering these things, and they didn't have enough inventory. They weren't ready for that, right? That's besides the point. The real point here is that that team received so many threats, apparently, to their safety or some shit like that, that they said, hey, here's y'all's refund, or we're not going to do this.
Fuck.
Exactly.
That's the ultimate cyber bully right there.
Exactly. And so they're like, hey, have this money. That's another thing about, like, how it ties into Cyberpunk is they weren't ready.
No,
they weren't ready. But they also, like, stood up and said, hey, we're not going to do this. We're not ready to go ahead and push out this many numbers. If you guys are going to threaten us, we're going to tell you, no, here's your money, and we're not going to give you the product.
And at the end of the
And
day,
that was the right stance. If they received personal threats, I think that was the right stance to take. If it was legal allegations, I don't know. You know, legal allegations kind of get a little funny.
well, the Cyberpunk team, they said that the game was coming out on that day regardless. So it was like,
Exactly.
so it didn't matter at that point if the team was ready or not. They tried their best to be. And that point, like, you force them into game designer crunch and that's what the point I'm trying to make with this, why this is wrong. So the only thing I'm asking, yes, that he is only a little bit correct to ask you know, don't put so much pressure on the dev team, but at the same time, you know, yes, you are the ones creating it, but, you know, I understand where they're coming from because he's saying, you know, that the guys were overworked, you know, that they were crunch time hours, things had to be cut, they make mistakes. My biggest issue is with you fucking have bugs and fixes of a game that's a story game. It doesn't even go online.
Exactly.
You could have took more time with this. And people could have waited for it. The pandemic is enough as it is. 2020 is enough as it is. I'm sure if you just walked into the DMV and got punched in the face, you wouldn't be that upset about it because shitty things happened in 2020.
Exactly. We're all in 2020, right? In 2021, we're still in a pandemic. You know, and nothing changed.
So,
the only thing that changed was the year number. We're still in this pandemic.
Yeah, you're 100% correct there. Well, a game that has said that they are ready now is the Riders Republic, and they said they're ready for February 25th. I'm super stoked about this. When they released that saying they're coming out on the PlayStation 5 earlier this summer because it's a massively multiplayer online game. You're riding around. You can be a dirt biker, a snowboarder, fucking parachute glider, fucking skier, all kinds of shit. And you could be up there with your friends. Me and you could be playing up there. You're going down, riding on the hill, and I could be paragliding next to you, and we're flying down the same fucking thing at the same time. Just kind of having fun in a virtual ski resort. And it's apparently supposed to have a shitload of people all at one place at one time. Multiple maps all over the place. Dude, I'm playing this thing day one all night. I'm so fucking stoked for this thing. And it's by Ubisoft. It looks a lot of fun. Honestly, this is a game that just looks fun. It just looks like it's a good time to play. And that online aspect, you get to share that, you know, with your friends and get a little bit more social aspect too, because, you know, you're going to be like playing that. You're going to, you know, be into it, the action and the riding down the hills and stuff, but you're going to be talking to your friends like, oh, bro, did you see that? Did you see that sick trick, bro? You know, like...
That's really what I play video games for, is the moments. Like, literally, that's all. Like, if you ask me why I play video games, is to hang out with my friends. It's like to have that feeling of, that shit was crazy. Did you see that? And then you're going to laugh about it. The other day, here's a good example. The other day, we were playing EDF 5. Have you ever played EDF before?
What the hell is EDF?
EDF, all right. How do I explain this? It's a Japanese game, but it's not. So it's based in Japan, right? EDF, Earth Defense Force. They've been out for a while now. There's different series. Basically, AJ, you're fighting aliens, right?
Okay.
But these aliens are not aliens as you've seen. See, I played it today and I got picked up by a giant ass fucking ant, like a fire ant, and thrown across the fucking map, right? And I was like, dude, did you fucking see that? And it's just funny seeing all the random shits. Like they have like wasps in there, they have like flying drones. Literally, I don't know how the developers came up with this game, but the other day we were playing, me and my buddy Chris, we were playing, and these drop ships came in. These like like green fucking tubes drop ships came in. Really funny. It's like the best way to do it is it's like a double A movie scene, right?
Okay.
And these drop ships come in. They're green with tubes, and they jump off this thing. They drop off this thing that looks like a lizard, right? And my buddy's looking at it. He's like, "That's not a fucking lizard." And I was like, "What is it?" He's like, "That's a frog."
Oh.
Dude, I'm not fucking kidding. It's literally, we were fighting a fucking army of giant ass frogs. And I'm not talking about like, you know, like troll giant. I'm talking about like fucking skyscraper giant frogs with guns. Like they have like mini guns, like laser cannons and shit. They can shoot at you. Now, the weird thing how this goes is you can blow off their arms, you can blow off their legs, you can blow off all their body parts, but they can regenerate like a frog. You know what I'm saying? Like a tadpole. They can regenerate that, or a lizard per se. You know how lizards can regenerate their tails?
Yes.
So they can regenerate. And so you have to literally like pound these fucking guys into the ground to kill them. And I just remember, dude, that was the hardest I left in like a very long time. I was in tears. I was in tears, actually. My eyes were fucking hurting. I couldn't talk right, like after laughing. We were laughing for like a good 20 minutes. And, dude, it's just, that game, dude, if you have like a good group of friends to play with, you should definitely play that game. It is one of the best games to play with friends. It's like so much random shit will happen.
Well, that's what it's all about, man. And that's what we talk about on this podcast all the time is community and friendship and making moments. And, you know, definitely, yeah, like Griffin said, EDF, that's the thing. Check that out. And when the Writers Republic comes out on the 25th February, definitely going to be pretty awesome. Those kind of moments, like you said, it could happen in the game, like flying down the hill and stuff. Did you see that? Did you see that? I can't wait for that. You know, especially for gamers like you that express that's what makes, you know, why you game and things like that. And Ubisoft, by the way, they're killing it. They're pushing out things left and right. They're ready for 2021. It seems like they're being smart. I'm looking forward as well. Ubisoft pushing out Roller Champions. That's another one that they want to be, you know, a sports game online. You get to play together like a roller derby game, virtual roller or online like virtual roller derby, hybrid roller derby, like hitting each other and things like that. Skating on the walls. So they're really going outside the box, but they're, like you said, they have the opportunity to create these gaming moments.
Mm-hmm. And that's really, I think, what a large like population, especially our generation, do now. Like, you know, the childhood, it's over. Like, you know, it's not over, but it's over. Like, you're not just playing a game for fantasy anymore. To me, you're playing these games for moments now. And that's what it was for me. Is like, it's a really good moment. So I definitely might check that game out. But back onto the Ubisoft. Like, I know this is probably going to be in a podcast in the future. But correct me if I'm wrong, Ubisoft is now developing the open world Star Wars, correct?
That is correct, yes. We talked about that last week, me and Doc. They're the ones that got the key to do open world. So,
I'm going to be looking forward to that. The Battlefront games have been shitted on, in my opinion. I did not enjoy them. Like, I thought Battlefront was going to be like the original Battlefront, but it was not. And I was extremely dissatisfied. Girlfriend, I wouldn't talk about Star Wars tonight, but then I kind of got on the tangent of Ubisoft, and I started thinking about like Star Wars and how it's going to be open world, dude. And this is fucking wild. Can you imagine an open world Star Wars game?
Any kind of possibilities, man. They can do anything with it right now.
But I imagine we're going to take that for later, but this just gets you thinking, dude. That's going to be, I feel like that's going to be a really good game.
We're going to be following that story for a while, I can tell. But you did bring up Star Wars, and we do have a topic tonight for Star Wars. Technically EA, really, but Battlefront 2 now is free on PC. And this is I guess it's the end of the era, the end of the line. You know, this is just the way to get out the door and say whatever. At this point, I guess a thank you, but like a thank you with like a, you know, like when someone gives you a cake for Christmas, but it tastes bad. They give you fucking cookies that are stale. It's like that same thing, man. It's that same feeling because I was hype as shit for Battlefront 2 because you know what? I thought they'd learned their lesson after playing Battlefront 1. Because Battlefront 1 was horrendous. And then Battlefront 2 came out a little bit better at first, but nope, still really, 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 really bad. And the bullshit with the microtransactions, holy shit. It took them 2 years to fix the fucking game, and now it's almost too late, and now you give away the fucking game for free. Are you fucking kidding me?
I won't say I despise that game because I did play it with my friends and it was fun playing with friends, but the amount of hatred of what they did to the Battlefront series, because I vividly remember playing Battlefront and Battlefront 2 when I think LucasArts and Rebellion were making them. And those were like my childhood dreams. I remember you could play that on the fucking PSP, talking about that. You could fly around on a PSP, a little jet fighter. That was one of the coolest moments of my little game history. Dude, I couldn't fly a fucking ship in that game. Like, I couldn't fly. Like every time I got into one of the fighters, I would just fucking crash and die. And it is. And then there's people always trying to camp, and like, if you have the right amount of cards in your fucking set, you're supremely. And don't even fucking get me started on the heroes battles. God damn. Dude, I couldn't last like 10 seconds one of those heroes battles is instantly fucking dying.
There's only like one good thing that's good about that game, and that's the Galactic Assault or whatever they fucking call it, the little mini campaign that you do. The big battle. That's the only fucking good thing about it because it's the only immersive part. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that's fun. That's why I see it as a game that's just I play every once in a while now. That if I remember to, like if I need like 2 hours to kill, because those matches can get long. I played one for a while.
They definitely can.
It's fun. It is fun. But that's when that's the only good thing about your fucking video game. You have a bad game, dude. You have a shitty game.
A tremendously terrible game.
So,
but if you want to ride on that tangent of Battlefield, we can talk about the Battlefield 6 rumor.
Yeah.
And I can definitely tell you about that.
On that. Yes, sir. Do you want me to convey it to you? Do you got all the info?
I have pretty much all I need to tell you. Because I'm a Battlefield player since Battlefield Bad Company to Battlefield 3 is when I really started. When I first got introduced to Battlefield, it was mostly in Battlefield Bad Company and Battlefield 3, right? Battlefield 3 remains one of my top favorite games. It's really the only game I've 100%ed all the way through. Like, it was one of the best games I think I've ever played. I replayed that so many times. The story was great. The fucking the mechanics of the multiplayer was unheard of at the time. I remember, dude, I wasted like 2 or 3 summers playing that game, just doing nothing but playing fucking Battlefield 3. And they went to Battlefield 4. Battlefield 4 was all right. It was not Battlefield 3 quality, in my opinion. It was still fun, but there was something off about it. I still can't tell you what was off about it to this day, but it was still fun. It was definitely playable. We go to Battlefield 1, and this is where everything fucking ties off. So now you're at a fucking crossroad. And you got one side of the players saying, "Hey, this is a cool idea. We went back to the previous wars," and the other side, which I firmly stand on, is the players that hated this fucking game. Not to say that I didn't play it, because I'll play anything with my friends. I really don't care. But the fact that there was no like customization, there was nothing. It was just bland and. You had wild moments, sure. Every video game does. But it was just dull, and a lot of people did not like it, so they received a lot of backlash, right?
Of course, yeah.
Well, they took that backlash, and what did they do? They fucking made it worse into Battlefield 5. Like, I love, but I hate Battlefield 5. Battlefield 5 is very fun to play with friends, right? You can play all night with friends, but it gets boring after a while. It does get boring. There's no customization. I can't put, certain things on guns. You can get attachments, but you have to level them up. You get specializations, which are perks into that gun. And I thought the cool thing about that was like Battlefield 5. The reason why I still stand by it is because they added the Pacific campaign. Now, not to knock on anyone, but they took away the American side of the Battlefield in the beginning. Battlefield 5 didn't even fucking launch with the fucking campaign. It didn't have a campaign at all. Like, I remember that. And then I came back and they added in the Pacific Theater and whatnot, which I thought was cool because now you're playing as an American. But before that was nothing but the British and the Germans, and you go to Africa and all the other countries, which is cool because you never heard about these in other war games, which is fine. But still, there's a large impact by the Americans that happened. You know, there wasn't a Normandy, there wasn't anything that should have been in that game, and so it was complete trash in the beginning. It still is a little bit trashy, but it's still fun.
Battlefield 5 was. Here's the thing. That was just EA. They fucked up at launch like they always do. Released a shitty, unfinished game that it hadn't. That was like when I put that game in and started playing it, I expected a fully finished game just like Battlefield 1. I expected all the stuff from Battlefield 1. It was like we took an incredible 10 steps back.
Exactly.
And behind me was a giant sword about to stab me in the back. Dude,
So-
it sucked. It pissed me off. And even when they came out and with that big ass update, adding the Americans and the tanks and the battles and everything like that, it was like, are you kidding me? Once again 2 years too late. And I really enjoyed Battlefield 1. That was some of the best gaming I've ever done in my life. Like, I was really, really good at that game. I should have just continued playing it, but, you know, like I said, I got hyped to play Battlefield 5. I fell off, started playing other things, whatever. But I had a lot of fun in that game. Battlefield 1 was a good time. It was able, you know, the slow pace, the shooting from far away. It was a lot of fun. Of course, like, it wasn't for everyone.
It's got Battlefield mechanics in it,
Yeah,
but it's
basic
just
Battlefield mechanics, yeah.
right. It doesn't feel right. I feel like they ventured into a territory they shouldn't have.
That's fair,
But to
yeah.
get back on track is Battlefield 6. So this is going to be a heavy game for this year. The rumors are the battles are supposed to be even bigger, supporting up to 160 something players. They're taking their roots to Battlefield 3. All right, and this is I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but this has been the word on the street, is they're taking their roots back to Battlefield 3. So if they're taking their roots back to Battlefield 3, this is going to give their franchise a whole new revamp. It's going to say, hey, you know, we're going to cut off Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5 as a loss. We're not going to continue that. And we're going to go back to modern day. And if that happens, AJ, I'll jump back on the side of the street and be like, hey, yeah, this is a great fucking game. This is what they should have been doing for the last 3 series.
Well, we can only pray that they learn their lesson, but we know their track record that they don't. But
Exactly. But that's what's been told about Battlefield 6 is it's going back to the Battlefield 3 roots. It's going to have larger battles. And I expect that coming from the new generation consoles. I'm pretty sure a vast number of us are going to have the new gen consoles this year. So
hopefully,
let's fucking put that performance to the test. Let's see what happens in Battlefield 6. I want to see buildings fucking falling. I want to see shit getting blown up. I want to see, you know, I do like the fact that you can call in like not really kill streaks, but score streaks. Like, that's one thing Battlefield 5 did get right was you can launch giant-ass missiles. I want to see that shit come in. I want to see, you know, what actually happens. I don't want Call of Duty. I don't want when you shoot a fucking wall, it just stays there. I don't want where you can hide behind cover. That's the one thing I like about Battlefield is if there's somebody's behind a fucking building, you're not going to be in the building after you blow it up because there's nothing there anymore. And I think that's a great strategy. So if they're going back to Battlefield 3 roots, it's going to be a great game. I'm going to go say it. If they put it back to Battlefield 3 roots, that will be game of the year.
well, I think that they're trying to, you know, get in the head of the line now and jump on the opportunity here to move ahead as one of the better modern shooters because Call of Duty went, you know, not saying they went backwards, but they focused on other things. They focused on Black Ops. They focused on zombies, the appeal of that. They focused on, you know, going back to Vietnam, the Cold War stuff. Like I said, I haven't played that game yet. I haven't gotten to it yet, but you know, the focus now is Warzone. Yes, it is a modern shooting game, but that's not its main focus. It is a battle royale. At the end of the day, it is a different style game. You have the same players that still play Modern Warfare, but it's really a main focus on the multiplayer at this point. And like I said, it is falling off because there is more people that have shifted back to Black Ops and now put all their focus into Warzone. Because a lot of people are like, well, if I can just play Warzone, you know, I don't really need to play anything else. And now they get their fix for Team Deathmatch and things like that on Black Ops. So Battlefield does have the opportunity here, like you said, to take first place if they could. But they also have the opportunity to take last place because they fuck up a lot.
Fucking go bankrupt. I remember I literally remember they lost stockholders. Like, these stockholders got mad.
Do they have meetings and sit around and be like, I wonder how we can piss off everyone today, particularly that guy named AJ?
That's what the development team did for Battlefield 5. Like, they were like,
I wonder how
Let's
we can
see
shit on everyone.
funny as possible.
Yeah. God damn it. Well, well, moving on from that, from this to our some more topics, some more positive ones. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Are you familiar with that movie?
You made me familiar with that movie. You told me about it a little bit, but I have not seen it.
Well, Michael Cera, he stars in it. It's a good movie. It's a cult classic. Stems from an American Magna about a Canadian kid who just has kind of like superpowers, but he's a rock star. Also, he's in a band. He falls in love with a girl who has 7 evil exes who also have fighting powers. It's really awesome. It's super nerdy. It's just fucking genius, honestly, and it's just really, really good. Michael Cera did a really good job with it. Well, at the time of the movie release, they came out with a video game on Nintendo DS, and it was very, very, very limited. Not a lot of people had it. And then once like the popularity came back from, I just read the comment from the captain now. He said, "I want to see heads go boom." He's talking about Battlefield, but
Exactly.
I do too. Yes.
Don't get me started on that shit again. I'm excited for it. I want to see that shit go back.
But with Scott Pilgrim, when the appeal came back to it, they re-released it on Netflix. It kind of got a second wind, and people were trying to look back and find the game, and it just was really hard to find. It wasn't really available, or if it was just kind of like, way out of purchase, like way stupidly expensive, like $85 for like no reason, things like that. So now I think the developers realized that, and they re-released this on Switch, and it sold 25,000 copies in about 3 hours. So
Damn.
People are pretty stoked about this. I mean, I was. I'll probably end up. I didn't know about it until I read about the story. I'm definitely gonna play it because I love Scott Pilgrim. I think the story is wonderful. I think it's really relatable, and it's the whole Street Fighter video game aspect that they add into it is really interesting, and it adds a different style that it blends what it's like to be at the time a teenage dude, and now a young adult who is still nerdy and still likes video games, and and he's chasing after a hot girl, and it's a good story, but
A little bit, just a little bit.
yeah, but a lot of people were stoked for it. Now this next story that I have, and I think this might be our final topic of the night, it's unfortunate, it's funny, and I shouldn't make fun of it, but it's hard not to because it's kind of, what else are you going to do? But I'm just going to get to the point and say that, yes, our esports player first to retire from an injury to his thumb. He can no longer play video games professionally at 25 years old anymore.
Can you imagine that?
Yes, because I'm just a little bit older than that, and I don't make the kind of money that this fella makes. I've had injuries to my bodies, and I've continued to do them, but this man hurt his thumb and no longer can play a video game. I think that's funny, me personally.
Wow, that is wild.
Now, I don't mean to make fun of his, medical issue. That's unfortunate. Yes, he needed surgery, and I hope that you get better and take care of it. What I think is funny is that we live in a world where this happened, where this man is being treated as a full athlete at the same time as someone like fucking Alex Rodriguez fucking getting an injury. It's the same kind of reporting. I think that's what the funny part is.
That is funny. I understand that point.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's, I think that's a personal win. I mean, fuck, dude, you're retired by 25.
You killed
and you
it,
played
bro.
video games. Like you played video games. You're retired by 25. Cool. Like you did it, man. Good job. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry to hear about your thumb. Like, I don't know what you did. Like, but you're done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you made that much money to say that you can retire at 25 from playing video games, I think I will consider that a win.
Now, yeah, because he's 25 and he has more things to do now.
Mm-hmm.
Way more things to do.
2 years younger than him.
Yeah.
And fucking, I'm 1 year younger than him. My birthday is coming up. But fucking, I wish I could say, hey, I'm done. I'm retired. I'm retired. You know what I retired from? Playing video games. Like, to me, if I could do that, that's like, damn, that's about God status.
He's gonna tell us, like his kids, his nephews, his grandkids one day, like they're gonna be playing some crazy ass futuristic video game in front of a TV that's probably fucking 90 inches long.
A chip in the back.
And they'll be like, "Oh, I remember those days when I got paid millions of dollars."
Can you imagine? And you really can't say nothing bad about that, man. You really
No.
can't. Guess what? He literally
That's
went
why I was
out.
trying to explain that
Hey.
it's only one funny part about it is that it's just the fact of the matter is that it happened.
It did. That is the funny part.
You have now unlimited opportunity to do anything. Not to mention in the video game world, you could be a coach. That's funny too. You can be a coach for an esports team. That's a real career now. And this man can do that and make more money at 25 years old for training other geeks to play video games.
Ridiculous. Like, it's just ridiculous.
What
Like,
a
I wish
world
I
we live
had
in.
like the perception that these people have, that new way the industry was going to go, the direction it was going to go. So they could be like, hey, so I could be like, hey, I'm going to take up esports and I'm going to fucking play Counter-Strike or whatever the fuck. And, if my thumb hurts or if I fucking break it or if I have to, something happens, then I'm going to retire. And then guess what? I'm going to go be a coach. Not saying that's what he's going to do, but I'm going to go be a fucking coach for this game. And I'm still going to make more money than all of y'all. I'm going to have a great fucking time doing it.
That's true. And you're right. You're 100% right. Because at the end of the day, you could obviously tell he's having fun. How could you not? You're playing a fucking video game. Yes, yes, you do have those moments where you throw your controller against the wall, but I mean,
Fun. Nobody plays a video game because they hate it. No one fucking does.
That's true. We have a comment in the chat from the captain now. He says he hurt his thumb and can't professionally play. He put that in quotes. Games, wow, bro. He said wrestlers, he's referring to professional wrestlers, suffer worse and go on. I mean, that is true.
It's just a different day and age. It really is. It really is.
He also says, or you could be a talk show host about games. Like, you can do what I do.
For that man, whoever he is, you have so much opportunity at your hand right now. No pun intended. But like, you have no fucking limits. You literally have so many more branches you could go off of just to fucking do. Like, and if you have the money to say, hey, I don't need to do anything else for the rest of my fucking life, it's all paid for, cool. But if you wanted to go out and still help out, you have so many more opportunities ahead of you.
100%. Well, we have some other, ending on these, some update stuff we'll talk about to close out, and then we'll do our shout-outs. Thor Love and Thunder, they are released their cast updates. They are ready to go. It looks like we're moving into the world of back to normal filming, finally, and things like that. But they've got all of their cast ready to go. You know, Chris Hemsworth, Tessa Thompson, Natalie Portman is coming back. Christian Bale apparently is coming in it. Jamie Alexander, Chris Pratt is going to be it. Obviously, as Star-Lord, they're going to do some other people from Guardians of the Galaxy, like, you know, Vin Diesel and Bautista, who play Drax, and who's Diesel's character? I forgot. Groot. That's right, I am Groot. But yeah, so it's good to see this, and now that also reveals some part of the story that we're going to get the Guardians of the Galaxy as well in the movie, and I think that's pretty awesome as well. Some continuation. I'm a big Guardians fan. I love Guardians of the Galaxy.
Man, I can't really tell you much about Marvel. I fucking
You can't. Yeah.
lost all hope after all the Spider-Mans. I kind of just lost all hope.
Cobra Kai successfully released their season 3 at the start of 2021, and they've been renewed for season 4. So on Netflix, that's pretty awesome. I haven't finished Cobra Kai 3 yet, but it's really, I love the first 2 seasons. It's really good if you like the Karate Kid. Some more Netflix news. I told you this before we started. iCarly is coming to Netflix, so all of us millennials can be happy to watch that again, and then the young crowd can watch, hey, who's Miranda Cosgrove?
Dude, she was my crush. I'm telling you, she was my crush. Like, my preteen. Like, I think I was like 11 or 12, and she was my crush at the
I
time.
religiously watched iCarly, and I was jealous of that too, of the kid too, the dude. He got to hang out with them all the time.
And then the dorky kid, I can't remember his fucking name, dude. A lot of. I remember watching that show growing up. It was really like intriguing. It was different. It was a different fucking time.
It was
Different
a fun
fucking
show.
time.
Yeah, spaghetti tacos. That's iconic. That's funny as fuck.
Wow. So just all the jokes they made. Wow, it was fucking crazy.
It was a good time. Same guys that made Drake and Josh. It was such a good fucking time. So now we get to see that again. I mean, I haven't even thought about that show in years. So.
Exactly.
And finally, guys, Shameless is ending this year. If you guys have seen that show on Showtime, it is in its final season, and they're doing something kind of interesting here too, Griff. And the reason I wanted to bring this up is that they're sticking to the current story with coronavirus and things like that. And
Cool.
they're implementing that into the story. They're doing like little the shows that they're not like the weeks that they don't have a new episode coming out. They have like a weekly kind of like catch up and also like celebration of Shameless thing, but also continuing on with the story of coronavirus and the pandemic and social distancing, all kinds of stuff they're talking about. A lot of social issues. It's a really good show. So it's on Netflix as well, which is why I was going to bring it up. If you can finish it now and then finish it by the time the season comes out, if that's what y'all are into. The captain, he's in the chat. He says he recommends The 100, The Good Place on Netflix, and he also says I love Shameless. Is there anything else you have, Griff, before we go over to the shout-outs and whatnot?
Excited for next week's podcast, as we're going to be talking about the worst games or terrible games.
Yeah, bad technology, games, all that stuff.
That's going to be a great... I have a lot. I can go for days on that shit.
Oh, man. I'm looking forward to that, too. Because we know on this channel, guys, we like to talk shit, and we like to talk shit about bad stuff. If you put something out that's bad, we're going to let you know. Anything else, Griff, while the floor is yours? I'm looking for somebody to raid for us tonight.
There's a point when a bad video game is so bad that it's good. And I'm not a fucking technician in that department, but I know that there's a level there because I have played many games that are so fucking terrible. Don't ever buy the $3 games on fucking PS5 because you will find one. So you think I'm kidding, but no, I'm not even talking about sales, like, the holiday sales that just got done for Sony. I'm not talking about sales. I'm talking literally like there's $3 games that you can just buy outright, and it is literally the worst thing you could have done for yourself. But not to say they're not entertaining, because you will laugh your ass off at the shit that happens. There's so many fucking games, dude, I've had terrible experience with.
Well, like you said, guys, look forward to next week. We're going to cut over to our shout-outs now. Thank you to ROE Gaming Havelock, Hybrid ATX Summer Camp, the Orlando Wizard on YouTube. Check him out. And also, I say this every week. I've been meaning to get it, the video. We need to upload it, the one that me and the Orlando Wizard did, so that now you have something to reference. I promise I'm going to get it out. I'm working on it. Dan's working on it too. Doc's working on it. Modern Programming, shout out to them on Apple. Check out Anti-Pong. They put out their multiplayer updates on that. The Fit and Prep food delivery we talked about earlier in the podcast. They are the fucking best food delivery service ever. They have the best food here in Orlando. If you're in the area, check them out on Instagram. Hit them up. Shout out to Austin Champs, Sono Kid, the Fair Kings, everybody on Twitch. Shout out to the Comic Heaven. If you need some comic books, head over to comicheaven.net. Check out our podcast as well with them. They were hilarious. Great family from New York. I loved them. Shout out to Floppy and the Sleepy Planet and 76 Operators. The newest fans, the Captain Now, thank you for being a very loyal Coastie and sticking through and coming to our Gamer Interrupted, coming to my wrestling streams, coming to the Tag Out. When Griffin gets on and plays some games, I'm sure he'll be there too. So thank you, the Captain Now, for everything. Thank you to for that, for the follow as well. Forever Daniel, Lisi DC, and the East Coast Vixen. You can head on over to etgactual.com to read yourself some articles and learn about the staff. And also, you can follow myself at AJ_East Coast on everything. How about yourself, Griffin?
Just follow me on Twitch. That's where you do live stream. I'll live stream for the ETG account. I really don't have a social media presence, but just follow us on Twitch and you'll see a lot of me.
Yes, sir. And this episode and more is available on Apple, Amazon, and Spotify. All you have to do is search ETG Actual, and we appreciate your listens and your subscriptions. And also, we appreciate you guys going back and watching the reruns as well. That means a lot. But like we said, we will be back again next Thursday to talk all kinds of bad games and whatever the news that happens in between. I'm sure something stupid's going to happen from here on out. And I'm going to keep an eye on that story about the European Union finding them multiple millions of dollars.
I'll be in our fucking topics next week too.
We'll probably be at 22 million.
Probably.
Well, if that is it, guys, we will see you next Thursday. My name is AJ East Coast, and I have been your host. And we hope you all have a good evening. Thank y'all for tuning in.